Before this video starts, go to my profile on Recroom and click the support button that should show up here. Oh, and also add me. I accept every friend request. Thank you. The creepiest account on Recroom. That's a name I haven't heard in years. Quite literally. Bleak010 is an account I made 3 videos on the course of like 6 months. After I posted my 3rd video, the official Bleak010 YouTube channel that was linked in one of the games posted a video. I'll play it right now. That video was released a year ago, and we only now know where that video was filmed, and I'll show you that later on in the video. And ever since that video, the account went completely silent. No updates, no new rooms, no new announcements, literally nothing. Radio silence. Until one day, I decided to upload this video. This is a video that compiled 3 of my older videos into one big video. If you haven't watched part 3, don't worry, here's the entire video. Did you catch that? Good. And this is officially part 4 because the account is back. The reason I posted this video was to try and revive the account, get the owner of the account to do more things with the account. And luckily it worked, because shortly after I uploaded that, the official Bleak account made an announcement that said this. Title: Thank you. Thank you for awakening me. The mystery shall continue. See you soon. It has been almost 2 months since that announcement was posted, and since then, a lot has changed. The Bleak account on Recroom also posted this image very recently of a new area that we will be visiting because I know how to get there. As a short summary, Bleak010 is an account I met in the rec center that had one room with tons of secrets and lore stuff. Alright, now if we take a look at the account here, you'll notice the Bleak avatar no longer has a mouth, which is pretty interesting, likely used with like a glitch or something, I'm not sure. This new about me is numbers to letters, so if you translate that, it'll translate to an English word, which I forgot which one it was, but it was like release me or something. Before we head into the actual room, the description also changed to let me out already, in all caps. So this is the first room. We've been here like 3 times already in 3 separate videos, but the first thing that changed is right over this way to the left of the radio table. You go through this security door, head over to the subroom called Afterlife, and right over here in this corner, if you jump and then touch the white cube, these particles should appear. Oh, and also this tree falls for some reason. Head into the particles and you'll be brought to the next subroom. This is the void, and there are 3 things to explore here. There is a vault over there that we'll check out later, and on top of this tree there's a teleport, but before we go to any of those, if you go behind the tree, there's a door that leads you to an elevator. This elevator was featured in part 2, I think, and it got a complete revamp. Now, if you listen closely, the sounds in the room completely changed, and the only thing you can do in this box area is click this button. It'll bring you to the revamped elevator with what looks like to be the Afterlife subroom all the way over there in the distance. Here's a zoomed in shot for you guys. Oh yeah, I didn't film this, but these eyes show up at some point. Oh. And then you just get teleported back home. You get teleported back here, so I'm just gonna head back into the void and show you what's new. Oh, and by the way, I'm like 99% sure that in an entire year, this subroom has not changed whatsoever. All right, now that we're back here, if you jump on the tree with this specific angle and jump again, you'll be brought to the computer. I'm not sure why I'm showing this, because I already showed it in part 3. There's literally nothing new here. The most you can do is just click the... All right, now for what's actually new, if you head to the bottom left of the map here, or top left, you'll be thrown into this vault-looking area. Now, I actually ended up figuring out the code to this vault, and it's absolutely insane. First of all, on this wall, you will occasionally see 8 white, just like that, 8 white lines go through. I counted. And with that knowledge alone, I decided to just spam the 8 on here, because if you decide to put 8, nothing happens. It's the wrong code. But if you alternatively just like spam it really fast, that happens. It shows 16 and then this opens. It opens up to a room that you can do nothing in except for read this text. Basement left wall. Now, if some of you watched the other parts, you may think that this basement is referring to the basement in part 3 or part 2, but that's wrong. It's not referring to that at all. It's referring to a new basement that I'll show you in a minute. Also, I don't know what this guy is. He's just kind of like here. Mwah. Anyways, I also have to rejoin the room because there's no way to get back up. You literally just need to get that information and leave. Now, before I show you what that text means when it says basement, I'm instead going to show you this new update I found. Click behind the radio over here. This little pathway should open up and you can fall down. You click the telephone. You'll hear a ringing. You touch the telephone. You get greeted with a jump scare, and then you just go touch that little tree over here. Once you've done that, it'll bring you to this spooky looking forest, and the only choice you really have is to go through here and touch the statue, which will quickly run away. You get put into a tree ritual, and you get sent to the computer. Now here we are, the computer. Now this place has changed a lot. Instead of opening a link, as you can see from last part, it'll start showing messages one by one. So if I wait here for long enough, the first message should show up. There it is. Boyple escaped has the first line. There are 4 lines in total. Let me out of this hell. Be my host. Take this deal. And then the wind cuts off and all the walls disappear. You can jump down onto this platform. You can see that little green thing going back and forth. That's the thing that makes the dash at the loading. That's it. You can walk off and you won't fall. And I'm not sure what there is out here other than the stars. All right, now let's get out of here and I'm going to show you what's new in the basement. All right, back here, instead of going back into the void over there, we're instead going to jump down here into this little area with yet another vault. I already showed how to solve this in part 2, so I'm just gonna put the code in and open the vault. It opens up to reveal a black wall with white particles, and this place will bring you to the basement. Now, there are 3 things, or technically 4 things to do in the basement. You can either go through this wall, go through this wall to figure out the code to this wall, go back from where you came from, or go out of bounds. Because I am not kidding, if you jump on these washing machines, yes, I called them washing machines this time, unlike the other videos where I called them vending machines, and y'all kept leaving mean comments about. Anyways, you may notice that this cube is way larger than this cube. And also, it's just very out of place compared to literally every wall here. And it has a reason for that, because if you jump on this, then jump on the suspicious cube, then jump on this little shelf, you can actually clip through the ceiling in this gap right here. As you can see, I'm above the map because the ceiling had no collision. Again, you can either go back, go completely out of bounds, or go to the thing over there that I already covered. But what you may notice to be a little out of place is this white cube. You can do literally nothing with the cube other than walk into it and it'll bring you to a different subroom. All right. This is the deeper basement, the first actual new piece of content to be seen here. If you walk back, it teleports you to the normal basement, and you can't clip out of bounds here. Trust me, I already tried. The washing machines are now red instead of blue, and the only place to go is this way. I'm gonna put on some light for you guys so you can actually see better. Now, there are 2 ways to go. You can either go right into this endless-looking void with a bunch of chains hanging. There's nowhere to go here. Like, I explored, trust me, there's nothing here other than these red chains. Anyways, that's that path, and if you go to the left path instead, you'll see this little computer sitting on the ground. This is actually where the Bleak010 YouTube channel only video was filmed. This subroom was only added in the past 2 weeks, and that video was uploaded a year ago, meaning this place has been in the works for a year. But anyways, as you may have noticed, right here, there's a little cut in the wall, and if you remember from earlier, the wall inside of the vault said basement left wall. It was referring to this basement. And if I go through the wall here, I get greeted with this. He managed to escape, I will too. This hell will not be remembered, the others will follow. And if you touch it, the wall will disintegrate and go all the way back there with text that says enter and a red light. And if you do in fact enter, it'll bring you to the subroom called Fearful. Now, if you remember from earlier, this is where the picture was taken, the newest one that was uploaded by the Bleak account. Also, this announcement, I'll get to that in a second. It's also new stuff. There it is. There's the picture. If you compare it, obviously the same thing. Now, if you try to travel through this, it's really hard because you can't see anything and you just end up falling through the floor because yes, this black part just makes you fall. Now, to get through this, there is a plant over here for some reason that if you interact with, now you guys can't see this because of the camera, but if I hover over this, there's a green outline and the title flash. And if I click, a light turns on with a cool sound effect, and it reveals the path that you're supposed to go through. Now I'm gonna try to do this, turn it on, and then instantly start running, cutting paths, and okay, now it turned off, so I just gotta pretty much remember this. Jump here, jump here. All right, there you go. There's a dead end over there, and this is pretty much the only place to go to, I'm pretty sure. Again, you can go to the room yourself if you want to, like, find new stuff, because I'm not entirely sure I found everything. And by the way, before I show you this area, of course, I have reopened the Bleak channel in my Discord server if you want to investigate this stuff with us. You can help out finding new stuff and all kinds of things like that. Oh, and if you play recroom in general, I've given away millions of tokens before, so join the Discord anyway, because I do lots of giveaways in there. And you may win an item on your wish list, who knows? Anyways, the link is in the description, and now I'm gonna try to make this jump. 3, 2, 1. All right, I made it. Now, if you get close here and listen closely, there's a metronome going. It ticks 4 times, and then once, like just like that, once differently. If you try to jump on the platform at the wrong time, it launches you off with a sound effect, and you have to redo this whole part. All right, so right now it's on the 3rd tick, 4th tick, and if I jump on the 5th, it lets me up, and I get to be on this platform. Now, this may disappoint you, but there is literally nothing here. Please do help me on this one and try to find it yourself, because I can't figure out what to do past this point. Now, we're not completely done, because the Bleak account has made an announcement. This announcement was made about 4 days ago as the time of recording, and here it is. Title, he found. Description, a host. He found a host. And it's linking to the Boiple account, which I have covered before. Now, lots of things have changed about this account. The bio is still the default one, which means they haven't changed it. The profile picture is of the forest of the account. Previously, it was the dark forest from this room. And the account now has a new room. How Heaven Was Found. This is probably the best thing to come out of this entire thing. I'm a big fan of this, so I'm gonna show you it now. The room is a completely pitch dark room. I'm gonna put some light on for you guys. It's completely pitch dark with a log screen that will eventually, there it is. It'll eventually start displaying text. Account Hamza Harrison joined room Bleak 010. Error, invalid account. Sending account to subroom Boypul's deal. And then 5 minutes later at 5:55 a.m., account Hamza Harrison accessed. And if you look up here, missing Hamza Harrison, last seen, age 17, born in 2007. A demonic laugh starts playing, and this image shows up. If you have any information, please contact Boypul. Body found. I'm gonna try to zoom the camera here so you have a better view of this. Now, what's interesting about this is that, first of all, you can't put images in a game without Recroom Studio. And Recroom Studio is a tool that can only be accessed by accounts with Recroom Plus or largely known creators, which I don't think is the case here. This is a level 1 made uniquely for this ARG. That's an interesting thing to note. But another thing to note is that these actually have the time displaying. So 4:59 a.m., the account joins the room Bleak, and a minute later there's an error where the account is invalid. And at the same minute, it sends the account to Boypul's deal. Then 5 entire minutes later, it logs account Hamza Harrison access. And then this shows up with body found. I'm gonna get to the fact that it references an actual account in a minute, but hear me out. Now this deal part is the first one I'm gonna focus on. If you remember from earlier, the computer subroom that we were in that got updated says at the end, take this deal. And it is presumably being written by Bleak. And we've established before that Bleak wants to escape where he is currently. It's also hinted here in the Bleak description, let me out already. It's also mentioned both in the video that Bleak uploaded on his YouTube channel and the computer room that Boypul escaped. Now my theory is that these entities, Boypul and Bleak, have to make a deal with someone to be able to escape where they are. And from what I'm seeing, they also have to kill the person that they're making a deal with. So I'm guessing that Bleak is trying to make a deal with us, the player, to escape wherever he's at. Alright, now I'm gonna search for the account Hamza Harrison. As you can see, the account does in fact exist. The avatar is frowning constantly, like literally all the time. It never smiles. 18 people have found this already, which is interesting. And the about me says I shouldn't have done it. The level 1 with nothing on the portfolio. No rooms, no photos, no inventions, literally nothing. And as a final detail, it says here last seen 09/02/2023, 3 a.m. Now what's interesting about this is that 09/02/2023 is the exact day that this Bleak video was uploaded. The only one. It's also the title as well. And the second insane part about this is that 3 a.m., 5 a.m. I think there's a correlation here. This last seen part, by the way, is the same thing on body found and missing. So theoretically, Hamza Harrison over here went missing 3 hours before joining the room Bleak 010. And then they find his body after the deal is done, presumably. And that is it to this room. Well, that I could find anyway. The room is called How Heaven Was Found, and the account is this one. Not only is that it for that room, but that is it in general. That's all I could personally find. So again, join the Discord if you want to investigate this for yourself and help out for part 5. As an honorable mention, me and 10 of my friends started a YouTube channel, a TikTok, and a Twitter where we'll be posting about just funny clips that happened to us and maybe full-length content. So go follow those. They'll all be linked in the description as well. That's pretty much it. Alright, how do I stop recording?